Hello everyone, ZMiner99 here, and welcome back for another episode today, or another video really, not really an episode at all. Today we're going to be going over a bamboo farm design, and yes, I'm starting here in survival because I already have one built here. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in action and how productive it can be. Before I actually show you how to build it, if that makes sense. At any rate, this was a requested video, so that's why it's part of why I'm recording it on here as well, is to show how I have it actually set up and being used. So I have these. This is Foodcraft, by the way. Information for if you want to join. All the Discord stuff, that's down in the description below the video. This is my smelter array. It's not finished yet, as why there's still scaffolding and the room isn't finished out. But this is what I have smelting items. So this is the only one which is actually fully functional at the moment. Items go from there into here, fall through that hole. The fuel, which is bamboo, falls through that hole. Well, I needed enough fuel that I would be able to smelt a decent backlog of items. Not backlog of items, but a decent amount of items, and I needed a farm type which would be able to store up enough fuel and produce fuel quickly enough to maybe not run continuously, but to smelt through a large number of items. So all of these furnaces are fueled by hopper chains inside of there. It's a hopper mess inside of that thing. And each of these, well, I guess that one's not a hopper mess yet because I haven't done the hoppers in that one. But these two are messes of hoppers on the inside. So there's a lot of fuel stored up in there. But what I needed was a farm which could produce enough fuel to do that and fill it up in a reasonable time frame and such. So here is the bamboo farm. This is just one segment of it, and this is like one branch of a wing. I don't know if that's the right way of calling it. So each of the smelters uses one of these. So that is the center of one farm. This is the center of another farm. This is the center of this farm that I'm standing on. And there's two halves to each. And essentially what is going on here is I have observers which detect whenever the bamboo on the ends grows up 2 blocks. Pistons push it off, or push off the bamboo into the water stream. Now it is true that sometimes items do get stuck, and I can see that that stone that needs to get switched out to ice. I'll do that eventually. Actually, wait, hold on. Did I use? That would be a problem. Yeah, I'll have to switch out. I'll have to go through here and make sure it's all ice. The other two I put ice in, but this one I guess I didn't. At any rate, this farm can produce a decent amount of bamboo. This is the only one I have running right now because I don't want to have a bunch of items building up on top. This line down the middle of redstone is the shut-off system for the farm. Just to make sure that shuts off. And it's just manual turn off. I don't have redstone wired up to be able to bring it all the way up, or like bring a signal saying that this is full, because there isn't really room for that redstone without wireless redstone. And I'm talking about like modded wireless redstone, not what we'll be getting in 1.17. So yeah, that's what we have going on here. That one is still filling up. Actually, it might be done filling up. We should go check. Oh, I missed. Great. Let's see. Fuel. How are you doing on fuel, buddy? Ah! jumping into lava is one way of doing it. Let's see. Bamboo is not backed up into there, but you can see that items that it had bamboo in it. So every time bamboo breaks from the farm, it comes down here. In that one, I noticed that if I AFK'd and it was full of fuel, I would end up with a little over 5 stacks, I think it was, of bamboo just sitting on the hopper there, which is why I made the shutoff system for the farm. But if we come up here, I don't remember, it started on this side, yes. You can see it's filled up. I haven't been AFKing for long, but it's filled up 3 of the furnaces of fuel. So I'm pretty happy with that. Anyways, we're going to now be jumping over to creative because that's fun. And it's actually not going to be the Foodcraft creative. I don't think. I think I'm going to just open up a survival or a personal creative world where I can actually show off this farm a little bit in its finer design. And actually maybe, nah, we'll see. I'll open up in creative nonetheless. Alright, so we're here on a single player redstone ready super flat world. I did a few things with game rules and stuff, but you can also see I have a mini map, I have a waypoint, I have JEI on here, I have journey map on here, I have Optifine as well. So this is a lightly modded world, so there aren't any actual like game mechanic changing things, just stuff to help me, you know, journey map to help me just make a map so I don't lose track of where all my contraptions are, and I don't have to keep a separate spreadsheet or anything. I'll just be able to go and to here into their big old map, and you know, just look at my waypoints and, you know, to be able to find them. So that'll be nice, and also just being able to teleport to them really will be good too. But then also JEI, and as you can see, I have already set aside all of the items which I need to be able to make this farm. It's not much. It's actually all the same items which are on my hotbar here, so not many items at all. Yeah, and then I also have Optifine. I think I said that one already. I may not have, but just to help with game performance and stuff like that. The sun does not move. Mobs do not spawn on this because of how I set the game rules. Oh yeah, I have WorldEdit on here as well. I forgot about that. Just for bigger structures I end up building maybe. So let's get going. That was an introduction to my redstone world. What we want to do for this is we want it to be at the right length for a bucket of water, which means that we want, oh yeah, actually this row needs to be dirt, doesn't it? Means that we want it to be that long. This is going to be a slightly different length than the other farm, the one that I showed over on Foodcraft, and that is just because I want this one to actually be a little bit of a better example of a farm. Just be a little bit more functional in that, so that you guys won't have as many issues with it. As far as losing items and stuff like that, and as you can see, there's still a touch of lag, just a few lag spikes because of other stuff on my computer at the moment. So anyways, this is your water stream. It's going to be 8 blocks long, so that's including the source, of course, going out 8 blocks. This will be the central water path, if you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine as well. But essentially what we need is the 2 thick here, like so. And then I use streamlights. You can use pumpkins. You could use normal blocks and just have torches. Oh, wait, hold on. That's an issue. Controls. Turn off auto jump. There we go. You could use torches on the back side of the wall up here. That works as well. I just decided to use shroom lights because I had a lot of them lying around. I wasn't using them, so I was like, hey, might as well go use them. As far as this farm goes, though, other than just talking about shroom lights, one thing which I'd highly recommend is trying to build it in stages. So you kind of have this stage here, right? This is one good starting stage to the farm. But it's important to note that how this farm's layered. So I'm actually going to construct two different segments of this, and this is something which I could use WorldEdit for technically. But I'm not going to for some reason. Yeah, don't ask me why. I'm just not using it at the moment for it. So this is a good starting point for this farm build. And again, this is the central water stream, so you don't want your stuff going out into here. And also, this is going to be different, like I've been saying, than the other farms I've been using. So you can see we have our two segments here of this farm. And then the reason that you'll see why there's this extra block here, but part of the reason I've done it in this order, and you'll see I'm putting the blocks up like this, which doesn't really make sense until you realize the placement of the observer. It's much easier to put the observers in like this. So before you even get all the other rest of the farm up, you'd think like, oh yeah, well this is all the same block, so we'll just place all these down at once. Well, if you do that, there's no way you can place the observer without putting a block out in front of it, which works technically, but I prefer doing it this way for placing down the observers. It's just easier, especially if you're building a lot of them at once, which is what I did. So, yep, and you can either leave these blocks or break them, whatever you want to do with it. So, anyhow, let's go. Ooh, I'm thinking of more designs for this, actually. Yeah, we're going to do this a little bit differently, even than what I was thinking we were going to do originally, because it's better. Alright, so, anyways, this is me talking through my redstone process. Anyways, you get the idea of this other row, so I'm just going to stop building it, because it doesn't really need to be built, just really this one wall, but just so you can see how it's layered along the other ones. So fill in that wall there, and then we want to go and throw pistons down here, all like this. Now, this is where some of the quirkiness of redstone comes in. Maybe not like bugs of redstone, but just, stuff that may not seem so obvious. Well, clearly, this observer here is going to power this block, which will power this redstone line, and that powers this row of blocks here. Well, that's going to only power this top row of pistons, right? Well, no. If you're familiar with how redstone works in Minecraft, this will actually power this row of blocks down here as well as the top one. So the top two rows of blocks will be powered, allowing for this many pistons to be used. And the reason that there are the pistons up on top here is because if I place down bamboo, and normally I'd want to go in and put a roof on this, but if I place it down, then you can see that, well, there are bamboo stalks here, but because of how bamboo grows, and I've had this happen in my farm, you will have bamboo at this height before either of the one on the ends have even grown one, and you could be having it grow up this tall, right? But if it's growing up that tall, if we go like that, that was laggy, you'll see a bunch more than normal because all those were what was stacked up on top. If I go down here, I've picked up some of the bamboo which was up above, but yeah, wasted bamboo. And this isn't a lossless farm at any rate, so that extra little bit of waste really doesn't help anything as far as this farm's efficiency. But you just saw it fired again. So this is now operational. And then what we want to do is actually, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to make it. Anyhow, so you guys can kind of see now what I was doing there. I now have glass on my hotbar. This is just so you guys can see the farm, and I can come back and look at it later, and I don't have to break it all apart to show people how it actually works. If I ever end up making a revision to this tutorial or something like that. At any rate, since we're doing this, I should go and make the shut-off system for this farm to kind of show you what that's going to be. It will involve, well, we don't really need to actually fill that out, I suppose, but we can kind of, we'll fill out a couple of them just so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And this is where we use more components than what we just had on the hotbar. So we need repeaters, as so. And actually, technically, we don't need a repeater there. We can just use a lever, not E. There we go. Lever. As such. And we can go like that. And what's that going to do? I mean, we just saw what it did. It extends out all the pistons. And by running this system down the farm, or down the entire length of the farm, this is actually going to shut down everything. Because the bamboo won't be able to grow, because there are blocks above it. Since the bamboo can't grow, the block in front of, or block space in front of the observers is not going to get triggered at all. So essentially it shuts off the farm, which is what we want if we're not trying to lag out the server we're playing on, or something like that, by having 3 massive farms with 14 of these segments each running at one time. So whenever all the items are just despawning. Yeah. So essentially, this is the general system that I have set up on FooCraft, and it's what we want, or how this farm works. I think it works pretty well. I haven't had issues with it yet. I'm hoping I don't have issues with it ever. Of course, time will tell. Hopefully no updates break this, but this is a kind of time-honored design for automatic farms and stuff, so I think it will hold out. So, messing around with WorldEdit here, you would probably be kind of shocked at what happened. So, I copied this. I did not edit this. Oh, and I did. After I copied and flipped this, the only thing that I edited were these hadn't actually gotten copied, because I think they're probably more in the class of entities than actual blocks. But that aside, right? What happened is it copied the redstone correctly. The modded WorldEdit copies redstone. And it flips it too. So I flipped it that way, right? But, you know, everything still is facing the same way. So, you know, it's not really that awesome. Doesn't seem that cool, right? If I go flip, flip east, and then I want to, probably here's a good place, and I go / paste, it worked. It flipped the pistons, it flipped everything properly, and this is something which it doesn't always do. Yeah, and you can see that it screwed up the bamboo. Yeah, but that's minor, right? The redstone was copied, and this is just something which is kind of cool and crazy. Okay, I'm actually very happy with this because I'm going to check one more command. All right, so bear with me. Rotate 90, and I'm going to go / paste. No way. Okay. Okay, this... And that's no extra commands or anything to tell it to do that. I just use / copy. Like, to copy this segment here, and it remembers the block directions. That, I think, is... I was having issues getting that working in the plugin version for 1.13, an old bugged out plugin. No. Yeah, old bugged out thing. I think it was version 1.13. But anyways, remove those since that's not what we're talking about. Anyways, I have built this. I've copied it over. So we have the two segments of the farm. This is a better design than what I was using in the other one because look at this. This is a good transition point. I think I might actually switch over my version of this farm to this style as well. And literally the only change is just dropping the center down one. Then I can extend the water streams out the full distance and run them down. And then there's only 1/5 of the pressure plates used, pressure plates and ice blocks used, and that's not even like, yeah, that would make it less lossless than it already is in that world. So that's cool. That's actually really cool. So yeah, anyways, that's the farm, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Actually, before I end, I'm actually going to go and clear my inventory. I'm going to flip this on, and I'm going to AFK for a few minutes, and we're going to see how much we can get out of this farm, just so you have an idea of what 4 sections alone can do. Alright guys, so we're sitting here. This is the last minute of our AFKing. We're doing 15-minute period for AFKing. You can see that there's one piece of bamboo up there floating around, just spinning. Unfortunately, that's something which happens with this style of farm. And, you see it there again down there at the other end. There's another bit of bamboo which is actually stuck together to 2, it looks like, which is just sitting there on the edge of that block too. So not lossless, but I'm not advertising this as lossless. Anyways, that's the end of the 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes we got 52 bamboo, and all this is technically from that too. All that stuff that I picked up, not the one that I picked up from here. But, so we got a stack. Pretty much. A stack grew. Only 52 actually were pushed off. But let's see. Yeah, over here, there you can see there were a lot of that. The way of fixing that, by the way, is by, instead of using any water streams at all, and this would be another redesign of the farm, which I'm not going to do today, but I may do at a later date, depending on if you guys want to see it or not, is by running minecarts underneath. Technically, it would allow this upper section here to be more compact as well. More dense farm, and just have minecarts running underneath all the block spaces. and things like that. Actually, would it be able to be more dense? Actually, I can't say it would be able to be more dense. It may not actually be able to be more dense. But at any rate, there is ways of making it more efficient than what it is. But I'm not too worried about that because, as you can see, 52 by 4 segments here. I have on FoodCraft 14 segments per farm. So, you know, that's actually, let's do math. So let's see. We have, if we have 4 farms, so, no, sorry. We have 52 bamboo per 15 minutes. So 52 divided by 15, divided by 4 farms, multiplied by 14 farms, because that's what we have on FoodCraft. At least I think it's that still. It may be larger. Let me see. There's 4 per chunk on each side, which means that there's 8 per chunk. No, hold on. I did the math wrong on that. 8 per chunk, 2 chunks is 16, and then I have 6 in the other chunk, which would actually make that 22. So multiplied by 22 gets you to 19 bamboo per minute. That actually sounds like it's higher than the production rate at my base. But, yeah, I mean, that's what the numbers came out to. So, anyhow, guys, that I think is going to do it for today. If there's any other redstone stuff, if you want to see the slightly improved version of this farm I'm thinking it'd be slightly improved. I don't know if it actually would be or not. But if you want to see that, let me know. And I can try to put together a tutorial for that, or just design it in general, and then maybe put out a tutorial for it and just see where it takes us. That sounds like it could be a plan. If you guys want to. If not, and you just want to go and have at it on your own, feel free to go do that. Anyways, guys, go ahead and check out Discord. That is another good place where if you have any technical questions regarding this farm, regarding any other farms, to get in contact with me, or during my live streams on Twitch. All that stuff's down in the description of the video down below. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I will catch you all next time.